What if I tell you that Premier League is richer than ever before, so why are clubs losing more money than ever? In 2026, English football is generating over £6.8 billion in annual revenue. Stadiums are packed, TV deals are exploding, sponsors are throwing money everywhere, and yet somehow clubs across England are drowning in losses, not small losses either. We're talking nearly £1.6 billion wiped out across the league, and at the center of it all, a financial empire controlled by 6 clubs. Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool FC, Arsenal FC, Chelsea FC, Tottenham Hotspur FC, the famous Big Six. For almost 2 decades, they've dominated English football financially. But by May 2026, the gap between them and the rest of the league isn't shrinking, it's becoming terrifying. And now, clubs like Newcastle United FC and Aston Villa FC are discovering something brutal. Breaking into the top 4 is hard. Breaking into the financial elite, that may be impossible. Imagine running a football club where finishing 8th is considered failure even after spending hundreds of millions. That's the reality of modern Premier League football. Because while the league looks competitive on the pitch financially, it's starting to look like a closed kingdom. The numbers are shocking. According to 2025 financial reports, the Premier League's top clubs are now generating between £491 million and over £700 million per year. Meanwhile, most other clubs remain stuck between £150 million and £250 million. That's not a gap anymore. That's an economic canyon. And the craziest part, the Premier League's TV money is actually shared relatively evenly. So where is the real separation happening? Commercial power. The Big Six generate over 8 times more commercial revenue than the other 14 clubs combined on average. 8 times? That means global shirt sponsors, pre-season tour in America and Asia, luxury partnerships, streaming deals, mega-brand collaborations, all flowing toward the same clubs. Think about it. When Erling Haaland appears in a Nike campaign, when Bukayo Saka trends globally after an Arsenal win, when Mohamed Salah drives millions of fans toward Liverpool merchandise, that creates money machines smaller clubs simply cannot replicate. And then there's matchday income. The Big Six earn more than 5 times the matchday revenue of the rest of the league. Massive stadiums, VIP hospitality, premium ticket pricing, global tourism. Every home game becomes a financial event. At Old Trafford, Anfield, and Emirates Stadium, football is no longer just sport, it's corporate entertainment. And this is where things become dangerous for the rest of the league, because clubs outside the elite are trying desperately to catch up, and many are financially destroying themselves trying to do it. Take wage spending. The Big Six spend around 55% of their turnover on wages. That's high but manageable because their revenues are gigantic. But the remaining clubs, some are spending around 76% of turnover just on salaries. That is financial madness. It means clubs are gambling their futures simply to remain competitive. One bad season, one failed transfer, one missed European qualification, and suddenly the numbers collapse. That pressure has created one of the biggest financial arms races football has ever seen. Owners are spending aggressively. Transfer fees keep rising. Agent commissions are exploding. Managers are under pressure instantly. And clubs are trapped in a cycle where survival means overspending. Look at the spending wars over the last few years. Chelsea FC spent over £1 billion rebuilding their squad under Todd Boehly's ownership. Manchester United continued investing heavily despite years of instability after the Erik ten Hag era. Newcastle United FC accelerated rapidly after Saudi-backed investment transformed the club's ambitions. And under managers like Pep Guardiola, Mikel Arteta, and Unai Emery, the demand for elite squads has never been higher. Because in today's Premier League, finishing 5th can feel like failure. But here's the twist. Despite all the money, the league is becoming more unstable financially. According to reports released in April 2026, total Premier League losses are approaching £1.06 billion. That number is staggering. And now the league is preparing a major response. Starting from the 2026-27 season, new financial regulations called Sustainability and Systemic Resilience Rules, SSR, will be introduced. The goal: stop clubs from financially self-destructing. Sounds good, right? Well, not everyone agrees, because critics believe the new SSR system could actually strengthen the Big Six even more. Why? Because the regulations place massive importance on commercial revenue. And who dominates commercial revenue already? The biggest global brands, the clubs with worldwide fan bases, the clubs selling shirts in New York, Lagos, Tokyo, Dubai, and Jakarta every single day. In other words, the rich may become untouchable. And that creates a frightening question for the future of English football. Can anyone truly break the Big Six monopoly anymore? Sportingly, maybe yes. Financially, that's a different story. Yes, Aston Villa FC have risen under Unai Emery. Yes, Newcastle United FC are building aggressively. And yes, clubs like Brighton and Hove Albion FC continue to outsmart richer teams through recruitment. But the economic structure still heavily favors the same giants. And unless something changes, the Premier League may slowly transform into exactly what fans feared: a league where competition exists on the pitch, but financial power is permanently locked at the top. So here's the real question. Is the Premier League becoming stronger, or is it quietly becoming financially broken? Because when a league earns £6.8 billion, yet still loses £1.6 billion, something doesn't add up. And the next few years could completely reshape English football forever. If you enjoyed this breakdown, subscribe for more deep football business stories, financial scandals, and behind-the-scenes football economics. Because in modern football, the biggest battles are no longer just happening on the pitch. For more content like this, subscribe to Money Behind Football.